in Focus. President Trump will outline a plan to lower health care costs this afternoon ahead of the midterms.
Republicans want to create better health care through more choice, lower drug prices, and you will see very soon drug prices will go plunging downward. You wait, you watch. It's all in motion. And we've created much more competition. Democrats want socialist health care where private plans are outlawed and abolished.
A recent Fox News poll shows that health care is indeed the #1 issue motivating voters in the upcoming midterm elections. Joining me now, Democratic strategist Jessica Ehrlich, along with Republican strategist and former Trump campaign data and strategy director Matt Braynard. Jessica, your reaction to the president's plan and that might impact people who are voting based on health care?
Well, I would love to see lower healthcare costs, especially lower pharmaceutical costs. I think everyone would like to see that. But the details of this plan have yet to be revealed. And the last 2 years, given the majority in both the House and the Senate that the president has enjoyed, nothing has been done so far, which I'm sure has frustrated Republicans, but it's also frustrated Democrats and voters in general. So I'm highly dubious and skeptical that there's anything, that this is the emperor's new clothes when it comes to an actual plan that's going to be implemented.
Well, Matt, I will point this out in terms of bringing down prescription drug costs, that this year the FDA has approved a record number of generic drugs so far this year. And that is delivering on another promise is getting government out of the way. And this has been one of the things that for years healthcare analysts have been talking about. So there is that as well. And then in Obamacare, the kind of standard plan in Obamacare, the premium is actually for next year going to be slightly lower than it was last year. So there are some things going on that could influence voters.
Yeah, and I need to correct what my colleague here just said. There was tremendous progress made in health care these last 2 years because Trump and the Republicans repealed the most egregious violation of individual rights in Obamacare was in getting rid of the individual mandate. That is gone. So that is a substantial advance. That was a regressive tax on our poorest citizens. And that's no more thanks to this president. And I'm very excited to see what this plan is going to bring. We do know that the health care issue was what cost the Democrats control of Congress in 2010. So going on the offense on this issue is only going to yield tremendous dividends for our side.
Jessica, I'll get your reaction to that because a lot of the ads, and Democrats, roughly half the ads that Democrats have been running in the midterm elections are related to health care, and a lot of them focus on Republicans want to repeal the coverage for pre-existing conditions. It's something that hasn't happened, but nevertheless, they've made that a talking point.
Well, I mean, I think that's part of the frustration on both sides, right? So for a lot of Democrats and even a tremendous number of moderate Republicans and independent voters, the repeal of the Obamacare in its full state, the abolition of the pre-existing conditions as a prerequisite for your health care. These are things that get people out to the polls, that have energized people that we're seeing in these, I think, what's going to be record turnouts for midterm elections. Contrary, yes, you can hold on to, they took away, they abolished part of this one aspect of Obamacare, but the Republicans came in on this wave with Trump of saying they were going to appeal it completely, and they weren't able to do that. They created a new plan that they also couldn't even get out of the House with their own majority. So these are the facts, and you can spin them any way you want to, but it's a disappointment to a lot of people. Yes, it does get people to the polls, and we're going to see that this time around.
I'll say this. It's a disappointment that they got rid of a tax on people. I don't know if people see that as a disposement, but I'll get your response, and I want to move on.
People who wanted Obamacare abolished are disappointed that it wasn't accomplished.
Obamacare was not repealed and replaced with a plan that covers pre-existing conditions because of one errant Republican senator. We're likely going to be fixing that in this next Congress. And it's very disingenuous to be running ads saying that Republicans, these horrible Republicans, are going to get rid of pre-existing condition coverage when you've just made the point that we've had control for the last 2 years. So why haven't we done it yet? These ads are really making the presumption that voters are very stupid, and I don't think they're going to succeed.